So I don't know how many of you actually know me, but for those of you unaware, I am really cool. Just ask anyone. I am just renowned throughout the school as this vessel of awesomeness. But putting this obvious, don't laugh, it's true. Putting this obvious fact aside, I think you deserve to know it took me a long time to decide how to start this speech. I've witnessed a lot of these ceremonies, and I've seen some people start with good morning and others with good afternoon. And after much deliberation, I eventually landed on the obvious middle ground, which was to lie to your face. I'm not actually that cool, believe it or not. I'm not actually renowned as a vessel of awesomeness. And yet, I still chose to present myself this way because, just like everyone graduating today can tell you, we are defined by the choices we make. I mean, just in this year alone, we've had to make a plethora of hard decisions that would impact our lives. What gown colors to wear, what senior pictures to use, and of course, whether it's appropriate to include a 6'7" joke in our speech. I won't do it, lower those expectations. But everyone walking the stage today has made the most important choice of all, showing up and graduating. In spite of hard projects, missing assignments, lost pencils, and money wasted on energy drinks, we've made it through high school. We, the graduating class of 2026-7. I had to. However, this accomplishment has not come without struggle. As a class, we encountered plenty of obstacles, learning a lot of valuable life lessons along the way. In English, for example, we dove into the world of inspirational literary characters, such as Atticus, the selfless attorney, or Oedipus, the Greek hero who married his mother and... Actually, you should probably just read the play for that one. Sophomores know what I'm talking about, all right, guys? Our endurance was tested even further in geometry, when we were taught how to write proofs, something we wouldn't have survived if it weren't for a constant supply of cotton candy-flavored gum. Thank you, Clancy. I almost forgive you for when you sprayed me with rusty water the other day. In personal finance, we learned never trust Martin stock predictions. Yeah, you know, the stock market game may have just been a simulation using fake money, but it was real to me. I am down 4,000 imaginary dollars. Martin, you'll be speaking to my imaginary lawyers, sir. My own tenacity was put to test in anatomy when we had to learn about, believe it or not, anatomy. It was kind of gross. But on the bright side, I was kept thoroughly up to date on gossip while taking that class. You know, some people listen to the news in the morning. Me, no, I just removed my AirPods during first period, and I learned everything that's happening in town. So, thank you to those two individuals who know who they are for whispering a little too loudly. But perhaps the most difficult trial we faced was when our English teacher had to leave for the rest of the year for medical reasons. Her doorway phrase, have good days, make good choices, has inspired us greatly over the last 4 years. It's also a convenient segue into the next part of the speech. Choices, that's the theme if you didn't manage to pick it up from the subtle foreshadowing. Yeah, I remember that from English. Foreshadowing at the beginning. We all make choices that define us. These choices determine not only where we go, but who we become. This is gonna be our last time ever stepping foot on this stage. As someone who spent hundreds of hours rehearsing here, it feels like I'm leaving behind a large part of my life, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. But what comforts me is knowing that we, the graduating class of 2026, the coolest and most awesome class of all, have the ability to choose what path we go down. So, before we end today and we all get to go home and walk the stage, I'd just like to say one last thing. It's a quote from a man I guarantee everyone graduating today has grown to hate. William Shakespeare once said, "This, above all, to thine own self be true." Now, I hardly ever agree with Shakespeare. In fact, I hate the guy, but these words are absolutely true. As we embark on our lives post-high school, we will, no doubt, be faced with many choices, important ones that will determine the trajectory of our lives. But most important of all is how we choose to respond to them. Our futures will be riddled with obstacles. The work will only get harder than analyze the text questions, and the choices will become more difficult. But if we make choices that remain true to ourselves, I have no doubt that everyone here will be led on the right path. And so, I'd like to thank everyone who chose to come here today to celebrate with us. Thank you to all the wonderful teachers and faculty members that have helped us get to this point. Thank you to the coaches and advisors who put up with us. To our parents, of course, for molding each of us into who we are today and supporting us on this journey. And finally, thank you to my family from Canada who came here to watch me. Hi, guys. And to the class of 2026. Over the last 4 years, we've made a lot of choices that have led us to this moment. Now, let's choose to leave in style.